Alright, do you guys think marijuana is as dangerous as LSD, heroin, ecstasy?
No.
The federal government does and classifies marijuana as a Schedule I drug. This means that it has no medical value, is the most dangerous, and has a high potential for drug abuse. While the federal government classifies cocaine, meth, and OxyContin as a Schedule II drug, this means it's less dangerous and has some medical value. Today I'm going to argue that marijuana should be legalized. And for centuries, marijuana has been used as a safe therapeutic substance with many known medical benefits. There has never been a reported death, and while cocaine, heroin, meth kill people every day. Marijuana has been a controversial topic in the United States since it was made illegal in the early 1900s. Alcohol prohibition didn't work, and marijuana prohibition is definitely not working. Just recently, Washington, Colorado, Oregon, and Alaska have legalized marijuana for recreational use. Now these states will see the many benefits that legalizing marijuana brings. Let me further explain why prohibition isn't working, the economic benefits, and the medical benefits of legalization of marijuana. First, let me tell you why prohibition isn't working. According to the USA Today, nearly 24 million Americans use marijuana frequently. For the last decade, marijuana use in the United States has continued to rise. The states have very different views on marijuana than the federal government does. There have been 4 states to legalize marijuana for recreational use and 20 states to allow medical marijuana. Marijuana should be regulated and taxed just like alcohol. Prohibition creates a black market for organized crime groups to make a profit from marijuana. Mexico is the largest exporter of marijuana to the United States, and the cartels will stop at nothing to defend their profits. There have been at least 24,000 murders along Mexico's borders since 2006. Legalization will help combat the violence along the borders by lowering the demand for the cartel's marijuana. It will raise the demand for locally grown cannabis, which can be taxed and regulated, just like alcohol. Now let me tell you about the economic benefits of legalization of marijuana. It will not only bring millions in tax revenue each year, but will save millions in costs associated with prohibition enforcement. According to normal.org, the average prison sentence for inmates incarcerated for marijuana-related crimes is about 3 years. Since 2010, there have been 757,969 individuals incarcerated, which costs an estimated of $21,000 per person each year. So the total amount to keep these individuals incarcerated would be around $45 billion. As you can see, prohibition enforcement is very costly and is definitely not working. Just think of how we could better our school systems, lower healthcare costs, and help the homeless with that money. According to Forbes.com, Colorado pulled in $2 million in the month of January alone from taxing marijuana. If that trend continues, the state will see more than $40 million in additional tax dollars in 2014. Colorado is also benefiting from legalization by seeing a reduced crime rate of about 2% since January. So it goes to show legalization of marijuana has many economic benefits that will help revive a struggling economy. Now that I've discussed why prohibition isn't working and the economic benefits, let me tell you the medical benefits of marijuana. Marijuana has been used as a medicine for thousands of years. According to LiveScience.com, in 2737 BC, the Emperor of China used cannabis tea as treatment for malaria, pain relief, and headaches. The drug's popularity as a medicine spread throughout Asia, the Middle East, and then to Africa and India, where Hindu sects use it for pain and stress relief. It can also treat anxiety, glaucoma, slow the progression of Alzheimer's, and help cancer patients with nausea while stimulating their appetite at the same time. These known medical benefits have been researched for decades and been backed up by scientific facts. Our federal government still ignores the many benefits marijuana can bring, while 20 states have legalized medicinal marijuana for medical purposes. California was the first state to approve medical marijuana in 1996. More states will continue to approve medical marijuana because of the many benefits it brings. In conclusion, marijuana has been used for thousands of years and no one has ever died from it. Clearly, prohibition is failing and wasting billions in tax dollars each year. The federal government needs to wake up and realize that this issue is not going anywhere. It is proven that it can safely be regulated and taxed, just like alcohol, and we will continue to see states follow in the footsteps of Colorado. With the many proven scientific medical facts in our unstable economy, why would you say no to legalization? Thank you.
Jack, what did you think?
You had a lot of great information about on your topic, and your introduction was very nice. You got me focused, and but first you're reading a lot, like I was doing. So so nice if you would memorize your speech, which I should have done too. And but other than that, your information was really well. Your transition was really nice. It's just that you're moving a lot too. You're swaying back and forth, and moving your legs, shaking your legs, because you're nervous. I was nervous too, so don't blame you. Other than that, was really good.
All right, the opening is fine, the topic area is clear. There's a lot of other stuff that gets presented as background before you get to your purpose statement and preview, and I think that once you get to the preview it becomes a little bit more focused. Before that there's a lot of wandering around. When you get to the body of the speech, I think that you've got some good information on the statistics concerning how much it's costing to arrest and detain people and all those sorts of things. But after that, it's a little bit thin. For example, when you get to the medical uses, you basically give us this historical review, and you mention all of these places. You know, in China and India and Africa, they've been doing all these things all these years. Well, in places like that, they use tiger penis to treat people's problems too. And I'm not exactly sure that that's a roaring endorsement for this kind of stuff. Yeah. You say that there's a whole bunch of medical research scientific research that backs this up, and I didn't hear any scientific research being cited. I didn't hear anything from any medical organization or institution, any doctors that are being cited here, any researchers that have provided proof for these kinds of things, any of those organizations that worry about this, like the American Cancer Society or the Glaucoma Society or the Alzheimer's Association or any of those groups that you say they've got all these benefits, and I don't hear any endorsement from any of these groups in that, and that seems a little bit problematic. You mentioned California has had medical marijuana for 20 years, and I'm going, okay, that's great. We got a whole bunch of other states. There should be data over the last 20 years that show that people are healthier, better off, less pain, any of those kinds of things than they were before, or they are in comparative states, and I don't get any data like that. So that's a little bit iffy. The idea of of economic benefits, Colorado, I'm glad that Colorado is going to get $40 million this year, but the idea that $40 million to the state of Colorado is going to change their economic status is, I think, a little bit naive. $40 million would change your and my economic status. The state of Colorado, $40 million, it's not going to do much to get their economy going. So I think that you want to be careful about making overclaims about these kinds of things. Delivery issues, Jack pointed out several of the things. Your voice is very enthusiastic, and that's about the positive that I can say about your presentation. You're reading almost everything. Your feet are all over the place. And it's not really very much developed when it comes to the time. Like I said, you're missing content on that. All right, thank you.